Okay. Yeah, I'm guessing we're gonna have to have a look at this in more like detail when we can actually try it. Like, this is not something that's making me like super hyped, but yeah, we're gonna have to have a look at it. Okay, so also added a new intelligence skill, Frost Darts. Conjures a number of icy projectiles that launch towards the target. Projectiles that hit a chilled or frozen target create chunks of ice that deal additional damage on impacting the ground. Consumes a cold infusion if possible to cause each projectile to lodge into the enemy, then explode. Okay, this is kind of interesting. Kind of interesting, and also seems like could be something good for like a frost mage or something. Okay, added a new. Okay, so that's the only intelligence skill gem that's being added. The frost darts. Added a new strength persistent buff gem. Iron Ward. While active, stores a percentage of the physical damage that is prevented by your armor or other sources of damage reduction. Using this skill releases the stored damage as a nova of spikes. What? It's like yeah, sounds like a kind of like a thorn skill. Okay, stores a percentage of the physical damage that is prevented by your armor or other sources of damage reduction. Using this skill releases the stored damage as a nova of spikes. So this skill really made so what this reading this skill description made me think is like, can I do this on, I mean, obviously it's a strength like it's a strength focused buff, but can I do this on like other classes than the warrior? Because that's kind of interesting. Like, because it says it prevents prevented by your armor or other sources of damage reduction. That means it's also going to apply to evasion. It's also going to apply to energy shield, right? Not only armor. And it's probably also going to apply to deflect, right? But the question is it going to apply to deflect and evasion? Yes, yes, it is. So, for example, if I'm playing monk, right, I have both the energy shield and the evasion focus. So does that mean that the evasion and the energy shield is also gonna be triggering the stored damage as a nova? I mean, hopefully sometime in the future it's gonna, but the question is it gonna do it now? That's kind of like the question. And am I gonna have enough strength? Like, I'm gonna have to build some strength into my build, but that's one thing that's really cool actually, because they are lowering the attribute requirements quite a lot, and that's quite interesting. So I think it's like 25% or something. The attributes are going to be lower, so that means that you're actually going to be able to do like more like triple stat building type. You know, you're gonna be able to do strength, dex, and intelligence like all into one. Because now it's more like if you choose this class, it's like you have to you kind of like have to build a certain way. Like if you're choosing an evasion class, you go all green, right? Choosing armor like warrior, you go all red, right? And intelligence, you go all blue, right? So yeah, what would be really really cool is like the mixing and matching and like really making these interesting mixed and matched setups, to be honest. That's something I'm really really hoping is gonna be it's gonna be possible this league. And if that's the case, I mean, that really is kind of like mind expanding here on like the possibilities that we're gonna be able to do. So, but that's what we need, right? That's what we need in Path of Exile 2. We need to be able to start, like think that, okay, I'm going to be starting a Huntress. Huntress is mainly going to be focusing in strength and dex, right? I think that's it. Can't remember, a long time since I played the Huntress, but I think it's like strength and dex. But if you want to add a little splash, if you want to add a little splash of like intelligence, of like blue stuff in there, you should be able to do that without it bricking your build, kind of. Right? Okay. Yeah, so really interesting. This Iron Ward actually made me think. Really made me think about a lot of different things that we can try. The question is like how many things can we actually try on it? That's more like the yeah, and I think that's good. That's good. Like the being able to do like a freaking just like an Iron Ward series. I mean, that's kind of like certain content creators have been doing this, like Pox, the Righteous Fire. I mean, he's like all in on the Righteous Fire and like different ways to build around Righteous Fire. And I think that's really cool. Like, that's what I want these gems to feel like, you know? I want the gems to be so cool. Like, each freaking individual gem, I want each individual gem to be so freaking cool that we can just like keep expanding on that gem, kind of. So we are restricted now. We are kind of restricted in what we can do because of the amount of the supports, right? So we have a max. Okay, so what's the max? Is it 5 or is it 6? Yeah, it's 5. So at the moment we are restricted to 5 supports per active skill gem. What if we had the potential? What if we had the potential to actually not be restricted by the amounts of supports, but we actually had like 10 support slots in each skill? That would really allow you to kind of like do more, right? So in Path of Exile 1, you only have a maximum, you have 5, right? Maximum 5, because if you get a 6-piece, a 6-link body piece, for example, or a 6-link weapon, whatever, you have 1 main skill and the potential to have 5 supports, right? It would be so cool. It would be so freaking awesome to have the tree built in such a way that you could pick 1 skill. I mean, you're probably gonna have to do like some other skills to either get to the point where you unlock that skill, or, you know, you're probably gonna have to do something different on the way to that skill. But like doing one skill for a very long time, or like all, like even from like this freaking from when you unlock it to like way into the end game, just making that one skill stronger and stronger and stronger. I think that would be cool. At least having the option to go in that direction if you want. Okay, Iron Ward, strength, persistent buff gem, bro. You made me really think about stuffs. Okay. Moving on here. Added a new strength, dexterity, persistent buff gem, mortar cannon. Raises a cannon totem which uses socketed grenaded skills with significantly improved cooldown recovery rate. Grenaded skills. Okay, so this sounds interesting. Cause I have a mercenary that's doing like the I think it's the artillery ballista. Being able to yeah, he's doing like, so sorry, I'm gonna have to continue explaining here. So he's doing artillery ballista. I'm also doing like I think it's the galvanic shards, like the shotgun pump, and also grenades. So it's like gas grenades, fire grenades, like explosive grenades, gas grenades, artillery ballista, and like the galvanic shots. That's pretty much it. But it's kind of a pain having to use those grenades all the time. If I could do like one cannon totem and not have to use my gas grenades or my fire grenades, only like pop the artillery, like pop the totem and then just galvanic, just do like shotgun galvanic, and like the totem is gonna do three things. It's gonna do like its initial attack is gonna do the explosive grenades and the gas grenades. If that's the case, bro, that mortar cannon is quite cool. If that's the case. If that's the case, I know exactly how I can build my mercenary. Okay, added a new dexterity persistent buff gem, Mirage Archer. While active, dodge rolling will create a mirage that uses socketed ranged attacks for a short duration, then vanish. You can create another mirage while one exists, or for a short time after one vanishes. Dodge rolling while you are unable to create a new mirage will restart this timer. Okay. Added a new intelligence persistent buff gem, Ravenous Swarm. Hold on. Ravenous Swarm. While active and enemies are nearby, swarms of insects emerge from your body to pursue enemies. The swarms are untargetable minions that periodically attack and poison enemies within the swarm. Bro? That sounds pretty cool. I'm guessing fitting for a witch. I'm guessing. Probably would be suitable for a witch. Okay, another intelligence persistent buff gem, Siphon Elements. While active, has a chance to create an infusion remnant when you freeze, shock, or ignite a target. Yeah, so this is also interesting because so the infusion remnant, when you're using like a certain element, and you are either like shocking, freezing, or igniting, you're gonna get these like remnants, but like I'm not sure what the remnant is actually gonna do. if the remnant is actually gonna like buff you in some kind of way, or I'm not sure. But it sounds interesting. Okay, Grim Feast has been completely what? Grim Feast has been completely reworked and re-enabled. Instead of granting Energy Shield, it now allows you to collect remnants from your dead reviving minions, then activate the skill to instantly revive minions based on their maximum life. What? Yeah, so that's not doing... Yeah, so Grim Feast was so cool. Earlier, Grim Feast was so cool, but now it's just like something totally different. I don't know. I don't know what I think about this at all. But, I mean, it's not what it once was. Added a new Keystone passive skill to the northwest of the Monk starting location, the Hollow Palm Technique. This keystone allows you to use quarterstaff attacks while unarmed and grants those attacks additional benefits while used unarmed. Yeah, that's the unarmed thing. Added a new keystone passive skill to the northeast of the Witch / Sorceress starting location, Ritual Cadence. This keystone changes your invocations to trigger skills every 2 seconds instead of all at once. But triggered skills consume less energy. Okay. Okay. Added a new keystone passive skill to the northwest of the Witch Sorceress starting location, Black Flame Covenant. This keystone causes fire spells to convert fire damage to chaos damage, with this damage contributing to ignite chance and magnitude, and ignites inflicted with these spells dealing chaos damage. Okay. Added a new keystone passive skill to the east of the Monk's starting location, Walker of the Wilds. This keystone causes mana leech to recover based on elemental damage types instead of physical damage. Yeah, so on my monk, I have this... Okay, what skill is... what item is this? I think it's the Everlasting Gaze. Yeah, I have like... so I have 20 plus 59, so that's like 80% increased mana regen. Also, the Glow Swarm here with the mana recovery rate and the mana flask charges gained, plus the freaking 65 maximum just flat mana. So these two items right here, like the Everlasting Gaze and the Glow Swarm together, they are just disgusting when it comes to the mana. Right here. But I'm guessing like Mana Leech could potentially like be a big thing if I didn't have these. So I haven't been playing enough Monk to to have like a super strong opinion if on like if it's lacking, you know, mana regen. That's just like in general like super bad if you feel like constantly feel like you're freaking lacking mana. I mean that's ugh, you know. Okay. Okay, so added the following new currency orbs that start dropping from late campaign and maps. Yeah. Okay, so it's new gems. Some for all? Question mark. New currency orbs. Okay. Yeah, added the following new currency orbs that start dropping from late campaign and maps. Greater Orb of Transmutation, Perfect Orb of Transmutation, Greater Augmentation, Perfect Augmentation, Greater Chaos, Perfect Chaos, Greater Regal, Perfect Regal, Greater Exalt, and Perfect Exalt. These Greater and Perfect Orbs each have their own minimum modifier levels for the modifier they add to an item. Hold on, modifier levels, tier levels? So does that mean that specifically the perfect exalted is like guaranteed to be like from a certain tier to a certain tier? Is that it? They're also adding a new type of currency, Hinekora's Lock, which can be used to foresee the results of the next currency item used on it. Modifying the item in any way removes the ability to foresee. They added over 10 new unique items, added over 50 new base item types, and added over 20 new endgame maps. Okay. 50 new base item types. Added 15 new omens, and continued to incrementally improve the sound, art, effects, and environment. Okay. Nice. Okay. Okay, so let's move back to the content there. Okay, so new uniques. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Yeah, so this is what I'm gonna be interested in like checking out, you know. New omens, I guess. Yeah, those are also gonna be interesting. Yeah, so basically, like the new gems are gonna be interesting. The new currency, obviously, is gonna be interesting to learn more about. It's gonna be interesting to like see the new unique items. Yeah, and also the new omens, what the omens are doing. Like the omens, I feel like omens are a lot like end game, pretty much like end game oriented, kind of. I feel. I mean, it could be like for crafting and stuff. You could use them like before end game, but yeah. Okay. Anyway. Yeah. Okay. So, what? Okay. So, what is there gonna be any more new content? Okay. So we have the obviously the new league, the new act, and the interludes, and we have the new items. So that's gonna basically be like the new content, right? Yeah, there's gonna be uh there is gonna be changes to the passive tree itself, right? And also, oh shit, yeah, bro, there are some player changes. Okay. So what I think we should be doing, my dudes, is yeah, we just need to freaking read everything here, I think. Okay, so I'm not yeah, so I'm making my notes, okay? I'm making my notes, but let's just read this in order here. So major character balance overhaul. So in 0.3.0 we are making a very very significant changes to character balances across the entire game. Our goal is to increase build diversity by making many more skills and character archetypes viable into the end game. So that's kind of like been my issue a little bit. You are kind of feeling that you are being kind of forced to go like in a certain direction, do like certain things. If you don't, you will be suffering. So the first character I was playing, first character ever I was playing in Path of Exile 2, because I was having this in mind. The goal is to increase build diversity, making more skills and character archetypes viable into the end game. So I was going into Path of Exile 2 when I played my first ever character, which was like a fire-based Stormweaver. I was going into the game thinking and believing that I could actually make that work. I kind of made it work. But it was so painful. Like, it was an extreme struggle to make that character work. So I really felt like I was working, like the game was kind of like working against me all the time. I mean, it was probably like a horrible character to actually start with. Like experiencing the game at like for the first time, and like with all like the bugs and like the stuffs when like early access was first released, almost a year ago. It's 9 months, right? We're moving on no, December. Yeah, it's like 9 months. Yeah, and I felt like bro, I felt like the Fire Sork, like I made it work somehow. I had to kind of like sprinkle some stuff in there. Some other stuffs I had to sprinkle in there. But I was, yeah, I was kind of disappointed, and that was one heck of a slog. But now, with these significant changes, I kind of like feel like, okay, I can pick freaking anything. Like I can pick any class, I can pick any thing that I want to do, and it's gonna work better than what I've been doing up until this point. Like I really feel like my Invoker is kind of like in a good spot now. But like the other characters, so like my Invoker, if I'm comparing like the three characters that I've been playing the most for Dawn of the Hunt, which is the Huntress, which I started, the Vampiric Huntress, and the Mercenary, which I talked about earlier, like with the grenades and the artillery and the galvanic shards, and now the Invoker. So out of those three, I definitely like the Invoker the best out of those three. Huntress on like second, Mercenary third. I don't think I've done any Sorceress. I've had in Dawn of the Hunt, like not a lot. Like I'm not like seriously been trying to build something on the Sorceress or the Witch. Been like very loosely dabbling into like warrior stuffs and ranger stuffs. But the three classes, Huntress, Mercenary, and Monk. Those have been pretty good for me in Dawn of the Hunt. And I'm also thinking, like, I can't help myself, but what I'm really thinking when I'm like building one character, I can't like stop thinking about like other characters that I want to do as well. But it's gonna be like this prioritization, right? It's gonna be like, okay, so what's gonna feel the best when starting new league? Like, what's gonna feel the best to start? And then when I kind of like have some gear, have some currency, have some stuffs, like what's gonna be the next one? And that's kind of like how I want to play as well. So hopefully this character balance overhaul is gonna feel really